So I'm here to do air conditioning. This is one of my favorite shops. This is always a shop. I kind of take a layback, kickback, relax attitude when I work at the shop. I take a little more time on these vehicles, and because it's such a nice shop, it just gives you that attitude of, you know, there's no hurry on anything. And so I'm here to do one right now. But since I'm here, I might as well show you guys a little, well, lightening the frame. A lot of holes, more holes, the lighter it is. Even your e-brake pickup thing is drilled out. Make that sucker light. And so here's a little grand tour. Some of the nice stuff. Got to get some air conditioning in this car. Let's get a vintage air. Let's take a look at this guy. This is beautiful. This is art. You know, other than, you know, I wouldn't want to hit that steering wheel at 85 miles an hour, but other than that, it's a beautiful car. This is the rest of the shop. We're heading out to the back to where I'm going to be working on a vehicle, but I'll take you on one of these little tours because this is a shop that cannot be repeated and brought from the scratch up. This is a shop, a generational shop. And this is what they specialize. No OBD2, no CAN bus, no ADAS, none of that going on here. And they do what they do, and what they do the best. And these are those few and rare shops that you're just not gonna come around. Now this is what I grew up on. And I remember starting an auto shop in my dad's shops, setting our distributors up. And that's my past history. I was in the tail end of those years. This one is gonna look like it's going through a complete frame off. This is gonna be a frame off restore. It's completely getting stripped down, it looks like, pretty much. All new engine and drivetrain going through to the back. Oh yeah. And so usually I am in a hurry. I have a lot to do today, but when I come here, I slow down just to enjoy the view. Look at this thing. Hey, look, louvers. Kind of like the modern cars. All they gotta do now is put them on actuators. And they could say they were ahead of the times. This one looks like it's just starting to get stripped down. Remember these days? Here's the Webers, and then they had the Solexes, and then to adjust your carburetors, you had your individual little, like the big pitot tube things, the big volume master, the thing with the floating ball inside of it, and you would set it up. I remember my dad showing me that stuff when I was young on his. And here's a old blast from the past. As I was coming in, these things were starting to disappear out of shops. I'd like to restore that thing and make it work again. And this thing's been here over a year, so this is a big project. And now let's get out to what I'm working at. And this is what I'm working at. This old turbo diesel 300 SD biodiesel. Got the interior. Interior's in good condition. The carpet. Oh yeah, that's all really nice condition there. I always like the way. Look at this. Solid. God dang, the thing with the doors has as much metal as a Honda. So this is something I diagnosed a year or more ago. I think it was a case leaking on the compressor. They replaced the compressor, replaced the receiver dryer. You don't reuse the switches, replace the switches. This one is not a refrigerant port switch. It's just a temperature switch by temperature. It doesn't go into the port. It just senses the temperature of the refrigerant at this point. And as you can see a lot of new parts on here. And it's well kept and maintained. Now here's a little retrofit going on. You know, remember the heater controls would have problems. They're getting hard to get. Here's a modern retrofit. So you have a little case, you have a little vacuum applied motor for the heater. They spliced in a piece of copper hose line right there. So that's the retrofit for getting rid of the old system that would have a lot of defects and have problems, and they're getting old. So that's becoming more feasible to take care of. And for those of you guys who want serial numbers and see what chassis it is, here you go. So you know exactly which vehicle this is. Yes, it's non-catalyst. What do we got for mileage? 121,000 miles. And that's the dash layout. All right, let me get to work. I'm gonna go grab my tools, set up on this one, and we'll get this person some air conditioning again.